All right.
Let's do this. Let's start
So
by
we
saying
have
happy
happy
birthday.
birthday.
Thank you.
Big 50.
Yeah. I am
This 50-year-old
old.
girl was hanging off the stage at Newspeak.
I
The security
heard.
had to bring her down.
That's how we roll,
So
baby.
good.
Yeah.
Remember, we're gonna do this with mics. We're gonna try to be a little more aware. Oh yeah, like
Okay.
I'm
yeah,
already fucking it
completely
up.
forgot about that.
We're gonna
I'm still
stare at-
high, seriously.
Yeah.
I'm still high from all the love. Yes. Love. The
is-
love. The best drug.
Where do you want to start?
With the love?
Yeah.
The,
Yeah.
the highness? My highness?
Your Her Royal Highness. That's good. That's too good.
Yeah. Well, what, you want me to say something about my birthday weekend?
I don't know how you feeling. Like
Oh
your
my-
life is.
It's amazing. My life is amazing. I'm so grateful for all the love. It's so cheesy. I'm grateful for all the
Fucking Hallmark card.
I know. But it was really special. I loved it. All of it. From dancing to
Best ever.
all best ever. Seriously.
Yeah.
From everybody. And it was such a cool it's like a culmination of everything that we have been working for, whatever you want to say, like all this past year, all the stuff that I've been working through, and it's just, this is the result of that growth, whatever work and stuff. Such a great feeling. I'm so happy.
It was so good. It was fun dancing. Oh my god, that spot. You know where you and I were dancing for Cryptogram? Remember, right there, like right off center, where there's kind of two speakers there. There's a vortex there, man. Like there is a portal, because the downloads on Friday were intense and
Insane.
so good. You were in one for a while.
I was. The download was really amazing. It's really funny that you just start like having information. But I was speaking to myself. It's not like somebody's talking to me. I'm just saying how amazing things are and how amazing things are just starting to become for all of us. So it's a great feeling.
Good times ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, my what was my meditation on first? Oh, I always see so many parallels of life from the dance floor, right? So this idea where we're all energetic, we're all just kind of making our way next to one another. And what's so beautiful about the dance floor is, like, for the most part, even though everyone's moving, no one's really bumping into one another unless you want to. And sometimes you bump into someone and you're not intending to. And instead of like getting upset about it, everyone's just cool about it. Like in real life, like if you're just making your way and you bump into someone, things are just so much easier if you don't take it personally. Don't think like, oh, they're trying to get me. It's just like, oh, hey, buddy, go move. You know, like, so like that, bringing that energy into like real life. Like, I just love that metaphor. And then when the music, like when they pulled, it's like we were talking, well, I was editing our second episode of season 3 where we were talking about like the whiplash thing. And if, you know, when there's darkness in your life, how that can become transformed into bright light. But I just like this idea of like on the dance floor, like they're pulling back like that tension, almost like almost like an arrow. Like you pull,
And you know something
then-
is coming.
Yeah, and then when you feel it, it's just like you need all that force. And the like recognizing like, yeah, if your arrow isn't balanced, that force could tear you apart. But if you're doing the work and like bringing in balance, then you're just you're just gonna take off, right? And so like it's exciting in the dance where you just feel that tension, and then and then you're just flying. It was So that was kind of this meditation that was coming through, and then when that guy came up to me and I was dancing. I don't know what that is. I gave it a lot of thought this weekend, and I've got some insights. But
Yeah, do you want to tell
Please
us?
share.
Yeah, because
Context.
I was looking at you. Everyone's like, oh.
so more and more, I think I first really noticed it with the cryptogram show. Remember, there was a lot of young guys there. That was like starting to get a feel for it. But now, like almost each time, there's a little bit more information. I'm starting to understand a little bit more. And it started with remember I came behind you and I started touching your back. And
Yeah,
stuff?
you were massaging my back. It was nice.
Yeah. And so I was just like, I was kind of realizing like the healing power of my hands. Like there's like this energy that's running through me by touch is a way of just like communicating. Because whenever I do that now to people, they just look at me like, oh my God, like that was so whatever that is. And then just like, oh, but that healing energy, just bringing that to the dance floor for the young men and letting them like touch me and grab me and pull my hair and kiss my neck. And for them, it's like to be able to provide a space where men can do that to a woman and not be afraid of how she reacts. And basically sending the message, I see your masculinity. I love your masculinity. I honor your masculinity, but the deal is you respect my limits and you respect my boundaries. So I'll let you do that. You can have fun with that. It feels good for me too. But I also trust that when I say enough, it's enough. And it's like this nice little balance where, because like you see, like they start a little bit, like they'll do this, and then when you don't,
they try.
then it becomes a little more handsy. And then before you know it, he's grabbing your boobs, and they're like 2-hand lift on the ass, and there's just like, and it's not a sexual experience for me. Like I'm not like kissing them or making out with them, but it's almost like the imagery that comes to mind is like a mama lion, when the cubs will like bite her and chew on her, and then at a certain point she's like, okay, enough. Like a good mama lets them practice, lets them be comfortable, because a lion needs to be able to like fight and play and stuff. So it's like this way of like playing with them with no fear. I don't fear them. I have no fear of men. I have no fear. And so for them to have an interaction with a woman who doesn't fear them, who encourages this kind of masculinity, but also sets boundaries, I make it very clear. I'm not into dating you. This is not a sexual thing for me. Like they'll try to kiss me and stuff, and then I'll be very gently, or if they try to touch my genitals or whatever, like I very gently push them away. And for the most part, they get it. They understand. But yeah, it's just, and it feels good for me too, like to like provide a service.
Free service.
Yeah, and I think your boyfriend kind of understands the value of it. I think
I was very surprised to how he reacted to. He didn't think of it as anything. Like he saw you, and I was like concerned a little bit. Like, how is he gonna think about this? Because it's not something that you see all the time. He knows that you have a boyfriend, and when we left, he said to me, I love Kate so much. And I was like, okay, that's amazing.
Yeah, I think because he said something to you once about like sometimes girls will get mad at a guy for holding the door or saying, hey, you look pretty. And so he's experienced firsthand what it's like to try to interact with a woman where she leads with fear. And so just to be able to lead with love in a way that lets them tap into this, this rough masculinity that, they've been told is toxic. And it's like, no, it's not toxic. It's toxic if you go past my line of consent. But as long as as long as you can respect my consent, let's have fun. Let's play. Let's like tap into that, feel that masculinity. And for me, I feel very feminine. I feel like adored. Like I talked about, I don't want fans, but to be treated like a goddess on the dance floor is pretty amazing. Like they're just like, yeah, like
they're so attracted to you. Yeah. So that's the thing. And it feels amazing to feel that you attract men. I don't know. Yeah.
Boys.
15-year-old kids. No.
But
they were not 15. But FYI.
No, of course. It's an 18 and over club, so at least
Thank
we know.
Gotta be a little more careful at picnic.
But I think that's wonderful. Yeah. And I imagine that your partner is like, would you, I mean, if you talk about it on the podcast, obviously this is not something that like you keep to yourself. Do you share that with your partner?
I haven't talked to Marty about it directly,
Hmm.
but
How do you
we
think?
could.
What would his reaction be from your perspective?
I think if if he understood it in the way that I'm maybe not so good at describing it, yeah, like the more I think about it, the better I'll get it. Because at first, when it first started, I was like, I don't know what this is. It's kind of like with our friendship. I don't know. We're cutting new paths of relationship, and there's not necessarily we're in uncharted territory.
But
The more I think about it,
yeah, well, with our relationship, you give off a big mother energy. So I am attracted to that because I have a mother wound. So that helps me heal a lot. And the other part is just like you said, it's just playful. We're just playing. It's not really
it's not sexual.
sexual. It's not sexual. I don't want to have sex with you. Seriously, it's just part of the playfulness and the sweetness of having you in my life. And like you said, maybe because I feel like you have that mother energy. I'm one of those cubs who just want to play with you
Yeah,
and
like,
touch you
express
and do
that.
this. Yeah, and you just welcome it, and we laugh. We do it just. It's more like a game than anything else. We're just playing, and the kissing and all the touching. It's just a game. Like we're just silly. I feel like it's just silliness.
Well, yeah, I mean, in my culture, I'm sure in I don't know, you tell me in with the Moroccans if it's the same. A lot of signs of affection and with a lot, independently of the nature of the relationship, are like grabbing someone's butt and like. Like grabbing your ass, like I do that to my daughter. Like I grab her butt cheek, and I'm like, "Ooh, chuku, chuku, chuku." Right? But that's like that's because it's not sexual. It's not, it's just like, oh, I love you. You're so cute.
Yeah, it's not sexual. It does fill my sexual cup, but it's I bring that home and share that with Marty. Then it does charge me in that way.
Well, yeah, with guys, yes. But I mean, just
No,
in
with your daughter.
general, yeah. No, but just in general, some
Podcast is gonna they're gonna arrest us. This is incestuous love with her kids. I don't know what's
This
happening.
5-year-old really wants some dick.
Oh my god.
well, I love it. At least we could share a jail cell.
No, I'm and then the other thing that happened is because had interaction with this guy before, and it hadn't gone well. So when he was him and I were kind of playing around. At one point, she looked at me, or she I had to take out my earpad. I couldn't understand what she was saying. I should have had her text it because I cannot hear a thing. And she said something about like this guy was a little rowdy with someone else, or girls have warned me about this guy.
Okay.
And so, but then later, she at the end, like either the next day or whatever, she's like, I looked at you, I saw you, and I remembered what you had said before. And she's like, you're right. I should have. My advice to her was don't. When that happens, like when someone comes into your space or whatever, just be neutral about it. Don't assume it's attack. Don't assume it's a personal thing. Like people are just dancing, they're moving. There's an expectation you're going to bump into each other. But if your immediate response is like, get out, well, that's an energy I don't want when I'm dancing. And I don't want the people around me emitting that. And so for me, that's how I'd explain it to Marty. It's like, I want to bring love to the dance floor, and that to me is very loving to like be a space where we can start healing this rift between the genders. Like we've brought so much fear to that relationship and a lot of anger, and so to just have a little taste for them to have a woman they can play with and grab and be into that and really like tap into that masculinity in a way that
That is safe.
yeah, that's safe. That I'm not going to push you away. If it gets too much, I'm still not going to push you away. I mean, I will push you away if my signals you're not picking up on. But they always pick up on it. Like I make it very, clear, and then but it's never like push it away. It's like, oh, that's a little much. I'll give them a kiss on the forehead and be like, thank you, that was nice. But it's, you know what I mean? Like to have that interaction. So someday, they'll meet women where there's fear or, but in their back of their mind, they're gonna. Well, not all women are like that. There's a time.
And I'm sure they will talk about it the next day to their friends.
Yeah.
We were dancing with this gorgeous woman, and we
grabbing
were
her
all over her, and she was fine. And we didn't even have to pay her.
Yeah, she's cheap.
Free. Yeah. That's a different kind of service.
You're gonna say
Cheap is-
she must be mentally ill. Like it's not normal for them.
Yeah, well, I think because it's like I said, I feel like we're cutting new paths here and so they probably don't have a label for it either. I don't know. We gotta be next time we go, there's gonna be a line. They're gonna have a velvet cord to take turns to dance with me. But I never feel unsafe because I'm up front. There's security everywhere. My friends are there. That's the other thing.
We never feel unsafe in Montreal. Seriously, this place, everybody knows that they cannot get away with harassing women here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely been some guys where I get weird energy, but you just move.
But like, if you get a pushback, like if somebody comes and harass you, you can tell them to stop, and they will stop.
Yeah.
Like
99.99% of the time.
Stop. I didn't have that problem. I had a bodyguard with me, so he was just looking at us.
He was on patrol. He was keeping an eye on all of us. He was
He
a little
was.
shepherd boy.
Aw.
It was beautiful. And then that picture at the end was like so
was so-
funny.
yeah.
It has like Last Supper vibes. It was so wild.
Yeah, we took a picture with the whole group, and we were there was like a table in front of
They
us.
have those long
and then
tables.
the where the bar is.
Yes.
There are like tables, and everybody was sitting behind the table, and
And it's Scott
it
took a
could- it
photo
could-
or
it
whatever.
could- yeah,
But it's just so funny. Like as soon as I looked at it, I was like, this feels like the Last Supper. Anyway, it was just a magical night.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I
one of us
loved
is gonna
it.
be crucified. too.
Yeah, I loved it. she has FOMO now.
Big time. I had such a
We missed you.
great
Yeah,
night.
tell us. Tell us.
You
Tell
must
us.
have had a good.
Yeah.
You had pretty intense, I imagine. Daime? You don't have to
Well,
talk about
can I talk about Santo Daime for a bit?
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Let's fucking
So,
go.
yes. So this weekend I was at Santo Daime and Val David. Santo Daime is an ayahuasquero doctrine that stems from Brazil, from the Amazonian province of Brazil called Acre, and was founded by this man called Mestre Raimundo Irineu Serra.
Whoa.
He's the founder of Santo Daime. This past weekend was his birthday. So it is one of the biggest celebrations in Santo Daime. And what is Santo Daime and what do I mean by an ayahuasquero religion or doctrine? In that region in the Amazon in Brazil, back in the early 1900s, it was caoutchouc cultivation, like agriculture. How do you say that? You know, caoutchouc. How do you say caoutchouc in English? Caoutchouc. Rubber. Ouais. Oui, rubber. So they had a rubber community plantation. Yeah, so that's what they were. They were rubber cultivators, farmers. Jeez. Woo. This man, they were mainly Christian, so Catholic. And this man went into the jungle, so deeper into the Amazon, and started drinking ayahuasca, which is a brew of two plants mainly, and then you can add many others. But the basic of ayahuasca is a vine leaf, which is a jagubi, and a leaf called the chacruna, which has the molecule known as DMT. You've heard of DMT? Yeah. So, which is also known as ayahuasca across the world. And he brought ayahuasca to his rubber community, who were Catholic people. And throughout time and drinking ayahuasca, but praying all the Catholic archetypes, Mary, Jesus, they combined these two and came up with hymns that they sing. So they drink the tea, which is the daime, and they sing hymns in Portuguese because it comes from Brazil. And there are certain dance steps, and everyone plays the maracas. You know the. This has been going on for over 100 years, and I've been part of this for 4 years. So I've been to Brazil, also to where this man, Mestre Raimundo Irineu Serra, comes from, and I've drank ayahuasca with them. And for whoever's heard of ayahuasca, a lot of the knowledge about ayahuasca is through shamanism. So which is also like, but it's more these are more cultures from like Peru, Bolivia, different types of different regions of the Amazon, and it's a different concept because with the regular ayahuasca you lie down and sort of you go into your own
Your own
world.
yeah.
Yes, and the shamans, they help the energy around, they help move the energy around you. Santo Daime is different, so it's the same brew. It's ayahuasca, but the idea is to bring a discipline through the work. So when you drink, you actually have to connect to everyone else because everyone needs to dance in harmony, sing in harmony, and play the maracas in harmony, which requires a lot of focus, a lot of presence, on top of being on the molecule, on the medicine, on ayahuasca. So you can't just like go into your downloads have to come. You have to like integrate them because you need to be very focused. And this was the main attraction for me in this kind of work, having done different molecules and always been attracted to going inside and connecting to other forces and expanding my consciousness. I find that the work with Santo Daime is so powerful because with the medicine you do connect to this light, this like vast consciousness, which is yourself, or however anyone wants to define it, but the bigger part of us, and a part of you needs to stay grounded. So you need to kind of bring that light, that energy in, and ground it. So it's like doing the tapping in and integration all at once. So that's
Right.
really, really powerful. I
You kind of
find.
have to fight the urge to let yourself kind of
Yeah.
play in the heavens and try to keep it down here. Like that's the goal. We bring that energy to ground it into.
Absolutely.
We dissolve the matrix by bringing it in and spreading it
Yeah.
at this plane.
Yes, and you're singing at the same time. The hymns are all about the importance of love, how love is the force, how we're all brothers and sisters, we're all one, how the new age is actually the new coming of the Christ consciousness, but the Christ consciousness is the human potential inside that needs to be expressed, and the way to do that is to love your brother and sisters. So you're also like the singing and the sound, so it's like sound medicine, plant medicine, collective medicine. It's very powerful work, really, really powerful work. So yeah, that was my weekend, and I must say that it puts me in a place of deep gratitude and a lot of sovereignty. A lot of like this is I am source energy. I am the creator and the manifester of my reality, and I gaining that seat and taking that position more and more, and I think we're all on that path. So yeah, that was my weekend.
So you did it 2 days in a row.
2 days in a row.
And many hours each day, right?
So the format that we start at 10 a.m. and we go until about 4 p.m. with 2 breaks of 15 minutes where we just go outside, get some air. We go actually around the bonfire and just kind of let go of everything that doesn't serve. We go back. So yeah, 2 days in a row. So that's a lot of medicine. So I'm filled up. You guys are filled up with MD. I'm filled up with DMT.
Like taking it twice. You took it twice, or
yeah, I mean, all in all, I took it 6 times.
Oh, wow.
This weekend.
Yeah, so you take some after the break.
There's 3 servings a day.
Wow.
So yeah, 3 servings a day. And this weekend, it's all daimistas. So daimistas are regulars in Santo Daime, so there were no newcomers. Oftentimes there are newcomers, people trying the medicine, or somebody that came a couple of times, revisiting. But this weekend, it was all regular people, so people that study the hymns outside of the work, because it takes also that
Serious
commitment.
students,
Yes,
yeah.
it's a commitment. You have to come prepared, or else or else people suffer. If you're not prepared in a circle like that, because we talk about dance and how the energy is when people all dance together. Well, here where it's a male, they call it a bataillon, like a battalion, and a female battalion, and they move in one way and we move in another. So it's kind of makes it like a wave, of
It's
energy.
like keeps transferring
Yeah,
through,
it
moving
transfers.
around.
Yeah, it moves around and transfers the energy. And all the instruments with the maracas are all in tune together, and we're all singing together. That trifecta, when it clicks in, and when it's daimista, so when everyone's practiced and prepared and committed to knowing all, singing, so you have to know all the lyrics. You can't be like stumbling on your words. Yeah, you can't be just like swaying instead of doing the steps, right? You have to be prepared. When you are prepared and everyone's clicked in and the energy's moving, it's like nothing I've ever experienced. Wow. The rush of energy that enters the body, and the feeling that, wow, you're grounding that energy. It's not like, oh, I'm not going to remember tomorrow, like all this is coming to me. This is like, visceral in the body, that light, the love, everyone. And yeah, it was fantastic. Honestly, I'm very grateful to have invested in this this discipline, because it's a spiritual discipline somehow. Yeah, thank you for listening.
Definitely. So it's almost like each time we go dancing, it's like, oh, that was the best ever. Each mushroom trip, that was the best ever. And it's almost like each time you do it, you're expanding out. And then the next time you expand even further and expand even further. So it's like, no wonder because each time it is a little different, because
you're filling your cup. That's
pushing and making your cup bigger for more.
Yes.
You're not just filling it. You're expanding. You're pushing. You're
like we are. The universe keeps expanding.
Absolutely.
Yes, we are.
I think our job.
What's going on with her? Yeah. Whoa. Wow.
She used to give a big eye roll to that one, and now look at her.
Like my vagina keeps expanding now.
Your vagina is the universe.
The source of everything.
Truth. Yeah.
Good. You had a good session.
I had a great work. It took me a long time. And this is also was my message, how my mind, our mental construct is the only thing that needs to be tended to, really, because for a couple of years now, I've been wanting to play the maracas, but I didn't have the courage, because I don't know, I guess I have this like fear of failure somehow that keeps me from doing a lot of things. Yeah, well,
you've done a lot of work on that, because I feel like, I mean, I think we can all identify with that feeling.
Yeah.
But you seem to.
Well, yes, I've done, but I'm like hyper aware of myself, so I really like look at for example, the maracas, which is okay, fine. So many people don't care and come for years and don't play the maracas. It's not a big deal. There's no requirement. It's just between you and yourself. But if you want to show up in the work and do the clicking like I just described, and you're singing, you're dancing, you're playing the maracas, you have to commit to it, right? And there's something very intimidating for me about playing music, which I have been working on, and I have shed a lot and broken a lot of that this year, especially having a boyfriend who's like a sound engineer and a sound healer and plays the gongs, and sound has been a revelation for me. And it was before that, it was something that I had repressed for some reason. I don't know. I still don't know exactly where it came from, but it's like I didn't want to touch instruments. I didn't want to. I was very intimidated by that. So playing the maracas, finally taking the freaking thing and it's not a difficult. It's not like I'm playing an instrument. Let's be clear. I realized
A
that.
drum solo.
Yeah. No, like it's the simplest thing. You
The
just
flute
shake
and
it.
the
you know?
maracas at the same time.
One with her pussy.
Lick a. Just shove it in.
Maracas with
Tats
their
on her
nipples.
nipples.
Please, guys.
Serious
Symbols in your
episode,
ass.
Please.
That's how they do it, right?
Sorry, not sorry.
Interesting. So you kind of had I know for to perform publicly, people like with singing, whatever. You had that for all kind of music. I'm guessing your dancing, the dancing had to help to get you comfortable moving to music. That had to be a part of your.
For some reason, I never had a problem dancing. I always loved dancing and danced, and so I have rhythm and I have like that. I don't know what it is. I took piano lessons when I was young, and I stopped for some reason, and I can't. And after that, it's like
There was a block.
there was a block. And I don't know. I've tried to visit these spaces. Like, did something happen that I've repressed? Like, did I get a trauma or something? I don't know. Or is it just my mind blocked and I never took the time to unblock it or nothing? I don't know. Not sure. But it took me years to just grab the freaking maracas and shake it, And I feel silly now because I feel like I missed out on so many times where I could have, But divine timing, it's all part of the growth. It's all part of the growth, and it's
Part of that pulling back, the build. Yeah. So instead of looking at that time, it's like, oh, it's wasted. It's like, oh, no. I needed more tension before I was ready to.
Agreed. Yes. So that was.
You're not only doing it at Daime, you and Ollie are recording some things, right?
Yeah, so that too. I mean, for the longest time, I have a boyfriend that has a basement full of gongs, like the most beautiful
setup.
I heard there's something planned for.
Yes.
Are you gonna go?
Yes. It's gonna be her birthday gift.
It's gonna be lovely.
I can't wait. Just tell me when.
Yeah. But yes, so to continue, it took me almost a year to just like hit the gong. Like, why? I don't know. It was just very intimidating because he's like, I feel like he's a wizard with the gongs.
So good.
So it's like,
So
man,
I
oh
can't
my
wait
God.
to hear
Like,
him.
it's like,
Seriously.
I'm dishonoring the gongs by like hitting them. But it's stupid. So
You
anyway,
take it too seriously.
I do sometimes. But he insisted, and he's an amazing teacher. He's a sound engineer, and he's very knowledgeable. So he really gave me very focused directions on how to interact with the gong. And then, lo and behold, I actually love it, and I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's really happy with the stuff you guys are co-creating. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm. So, and I do believe sound is medicine. I told you about the documentary, huh?
Yes.
I'm on record saying that sound is medicine.
Yeah, on the internet.
On the Music for Mushrooms documentary. Okay,
I need to watch it.
Yeah,
'cause
we need to
now
watch
I really
it.
want to see because you're in it now.
It's 3 seconds, but it's there. I say, sound is medicine. I'm so proud of that.
And you're swimming in sound now.
Yeah.
It's like you're dancing in this ocean of
Singing
music.
and
You're
dancing.
playing gongs. You're doing the daime. Our mushroom nights are full of beautiful music.
But that's amazing because I'm telling you guys, now that I feel like really like, especially with this last work with Daimi playing the maracas, really feel like before there was a block and sound was part of it, and then in the past couple of years sound has entered my life in such a massive way, and it took such a so much space, and it cracked something open and it broke that block, and I'm feeling the shift inside of me, so there.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like that. Those vibrations they're just breaking up blocks. They're breaking up like it's not it doesn't need to be a conscious thing. You don't even know where these things came from. You just got to let yourself relax enough to let these things just vibrate it away.
I can't wait for you to have that experience. Can I say something?
Yes.
That my cousin that I visited in Paris a couple
We
of
talked about your trip to Paris.
yeah.
Oh
I
my
will.
God!
Yeah.
You have
I have a lot to say today. So I went to visit my parents. My cousin invited me and my son, who just turned 19, to go to Paris and visit. Both my parents have family. I've had family in Paris for forever. I was born in Paris as well, so I visited Paris many times. So I have a connection to Paris. So we went to Paris. My cousin was he was like in a manic episode almost, because just so hyper. He had so many visitors, so many stuff is happening in his life. So I told him, and he took us around. And so at the end of the trip, I said, listen, find a gong place here in Paris and go have a gong bath, because you need to relax your nervous system. And he had tried a lot of different things, different molecules, different, all his usually go-tos to calm himself, and nothing had worked. He was really like wired, on a very, very not able to calm down. And he found the one place in Paris that has a big gong space, and he had a gong session. And he told me that during, I told him, and do it like research and development for me, because I want to see, like, I'm serious about this project with Ollie, with the gongs, and I believe in the benefit of it. So
Yeah, this is the medicine of the future, like moving forward, especially as we're moving away from, we're understanding how harmful pharmaceuticals are and all this stuff, like getting to the core of things rather than just treating symptoms, and sound is such a huge part of that.
Well, I just remembered something. I have done gong healing in Dubai, and I hated it.
but that's the
Okay,
Dubai version
Yeah,
of
that's
you.
No, but in Dubai, I was willing to try anything. Like I went to crystal. Like I went to this hypnotherapist. It was just moving crystals and like the pendule, like that. Yeah, pendulum, and everything, like all this stuff. And then once I heard about this gong thing, and I went with a friend, and I couldn't stand it. Like it was just torture for me. Everybody, the lady next to me was snoring. I'm like, how can you sleep with this noise? It was just like every gong sound was a torture in my body. Like I don't know what it was. It was.
Did you stay for the whole thing?
Yeah, I had to. It was not. It was weird to just leave. And
I bet now
I
you'll
think-
have a very different
But I think
experience.
I was not ready to. Maybe my nervous system was not ready for that. I don't know, but it was not a good experience for me personally. Everybody else was having a great time, and I was just like, "This sounds horrible."
It's not an uncommon reaction.
Really?
I reassure you. It's very strong. Gongs are very strong vibrations in the body. It is very possible that it brings up a lot in the nervous system. That's very uncomfortable to deal with. The only way to know you have to try again to see if that theory
you're gonna have a very
holds.
different. I mean,
Yeah,
you've done so
I'm-
much work.
Yeah.
I mean, you were doing it in a time of life where you were in a marriage that wasn't working.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like this is.
Yeah, I was trying to heal something because when I went to hypnotherapy and I went to the psychiatrist, I was doing everything. And nothing, I think because I was not in a good place, I was just trying to find something and nothing clicked. Like therapy didn't, I hated it. Like I wasn't, maybe I was not ready to hear the things that I was told.
Or maybe those things were working. They were doing their thing. It's just it was bringing up some uncomfortableness so that you needed to then get out of, you had to move, or you know what I mean? Like, I think we can learn lessons and all these things, and these things, sometimes the biggest lessons are in experiences that don't feel good, you know? And it may not even be conscious, but yeah, maybe stuff was brought up, and yeah, when you start healing work, it's not like, oh, from now on, I'm only going to feel amazing. It's like, oh no, from now on, there's going to be some things that come up, and I'm just going to, the healing is learning how to sit with it and let it pass, and know that it took many years, many lifetimes to get wound up, and it's going to take a little bit of time to unwind it all.
When the healing journey starts, it's the worst part. It's the fucking worst. Yeah. It's horrible. It's painful. It's torture.
I know.
Right?
Yes.
So it might have been just, and all these crystals and stuff like that, I think did help you, but they're not instant fixes. It's such a journey, the healing process. It's just an ongoing things, but we get to a point where we love it. We're like, oh yeah, healing becomes what you do, like you just want, and you're ready for it, and then it becomes enjoyable because it's tangible. And then when you get into the observer seat, or you can see yourself and the construct of self that's being healed, you're outside of it now, and the healing becomes like sort of like between you and a self of you, that it's done like an inner dialogue.
I felt kind of lost, when you were just dabbing and trying and things, and I'm like, it's just, it's just whatever, just help me, just do something for me. And I think that's why I was like not consistent with any of it, because everything I tried didn't feel good at that time, and I was just like alone in that experience. I didn't have anybody to talk to about what I'm going through. I didn't trust anybody to just say, I need help, and I'm not doing great, and my marriage is falling apart. And even the feedback I got, like, nothing was like understanding, and I was just alone, and I was just like, well, I need to find something to help me, and I just didn't know what to do, and it was
Dubai, you weren't meant to stay in Dubai.
No,
obviously.
I hated that place so much.
You're supposed to come here.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to come back. Like every fiber in my body was like, you don't belong here. You need to go back to Montreal. So that's what happened.
That's when the healing started.
That's when the real healing started. Yeah. Thank you.
But no, I'm looking for. We'll talk about it again to see how was your experience. And honestly, Ollie is the wizard of them all. I know I'm biased.
Trust it. It's different. Yeah, I trust it. Maybe the person who was doing the gong was not a good person.
That's a possibility.
I don't know.
No,
I'm not sure.
It was probably bringing up. It was probably doing what it needed to do.
Everybody else was relaxed. Like, what's wrong with me? Like, why am I the most special
probably
person?
Releasing stuff that didn't feel good to be released. We work really hard at like suppressing and keeping it down and keeping our life together, and we freeze that stuff. And then we sit in a session that's
maybe because it was a big group of people. We were in a huge space, and we were like maybe 40 people or something. And maybe I needed something more intimate, or I don't know. It's just
which is what you'll get here.
Yeah.
Well, okay, this just reminded me. I've brought a couple of people right to Ollie's before. One of them being Kate and Kat, my sister-in-law, Mia, my friend. Everyone had a really good reaction. I mean, you enjoyed it and you felt it, and right. I brought one of my a friend of mine that was going through a lot and was also in that position. She's like, oh my God, I need something. Just give me some. I can't. There's a lot of turmoil, and she had a very hard time.
Yeah, maybe that's.
She had a hard time, but afterwards, she told me she cried a lot. So it did help her release a lot. But during the session, she told me she was like, it was
hard. She probably couldn't really let go. It was still that we do a very good job of holding this stuff in, because that protects it. Like, if we let ourselves feel everything all the time, we wouldn't be very productive. So it's amazing that our body can take something that doesn't feel good, put it away, hide it. Don't need to worry about that. Keep it, but it's still agitating you, but you're still functional. And so we get really good at holding stuff in these little drawers and in these rooms. But when we do a sound healing that's trying to like release it, it's like, what? I don't release this stuff. This stuff stays in. And it's like, oh, no, it's time to come out. And so that's what it's like. With the tears after, stuff was coming out.
Yeah, and it worked for my cousin. His nervous system, like he was able to like sleep well. He was able to like sort of like calm down, and nothing had worked before. So I really do believe in the power of sound. I believe in vibrations.
Yeah.
And
that's all we are.
Oh my God.
Everything is vibrations, right?
Especially when you're in bed.
Good vibration. Well, that's amazing that you were able to show up and help him heal.
Yes, and it fueled me. It is fueling me to be like, okay, like I wanna dive into this. I wanna get better at this. I wanna understand this more. I wanna connect to it more. Ollie's very good at for example, in playing the gong. Other than being very technically, he has very high standards for technical.
So high.
Yeah.
So
Right.
good.
You had a taste of that.
Man.
You can't even
But that's
fart in
good.
front of him. You can't fart. He's like,
gonna
that
tell you
sound
that's a
does not-
frequency that's
That
that
would've-
means your stomach is not digesting properly.
No, I've learned with Marty
He's
and
amazing.
Ollie
Yeah,
and
he's
their
amazing.
perfectionism energy. I've meditated on that too.
They're so different from us. We were like, well, me personally, they're so like precise when they talk, and it's very grounding and very reassuring when I sit with Marty or Ollie. They're so different from me. I
Bring a
am
more
just like
chaotic
I am
energy,
like blah blah blah. I just want to laugh and say silly things, and they're just like, but they are funny as well.
Yeah, they're
That's
both very-
the-
yeah,
they
they have
have
great
great
sense
sense of humor. That's what I.
But yeah, like two guys, like a bit older, didn't have kids, didn't, you know what I mean? Like they were able to nerd out. They can latch into something because they've had time, and they're both professionals, so they had resources. They could really, when they get into something, they can really get in and really dig. Like they both do that. And for me, I've like that precision, that fine tuning, that really polished thing. It's just like, because when I think about my consciousness and my energy field, like that level of precision, like that's what I'm aiming for. Like we were talking about being energetically leaky or bringing any kind of resentment into it's just like I want Ollie level precision in my energy field.
I'm gonna tell him that Ollie level precision is our new standard. Yeah, and he has the beauty though that he has that precision, but he also has the feeling part of it. So like he'll tell me like do the first stroke and then feel the vibration through your arm, and then you'll know how much pressure you need to put on the on the
feedback
mallet.
in your own body.
Yeah.
Very sensual.
It is. It is a very sensual experience, and to be able to do that and to and the gongs react very differently every time. It's like an energetic co-creation as well with the instrument, and then to know that this can emit a vibration that can help someone is really exciting. It's exciting.
It's interesting you saying that the same gong can behave a little differently, and it must have something to do with like the Schumann resonances or something. Like our energy is not always the same, like especially with the solar maximum and all this plasma that's coming through, and like so each time is a little different experience.
Of course, it's the biofield that we are is very unique.
Changing.
And it's very unique every time. So every time you're there, it is. You bring a different energy, therefore it's going to be a different interaction. And although there's a technical part, so Ollie would argue that no, if you're playing a C sharp, you're playing a
Always
C
be
sharp.
C-sharp.
Like it doesn't matter how your biofield's doing that day, okay?
I still need a C sharp, babe.
Exactly. And it's amazing because I'm like you guys. I'm like the flow and the energy and just like, you know.
That feminine chaos.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And the male structure is really necessary and
Good balance,
comforting
that
and
balance.
being like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna find the groove in there. And then it's amazing to see how when we both can balance our masculine and feminine and each drive with one a bit more than the other, what magic can happen.
Yeah, magic. When you find that balance and in everything, that's the magic. Yeah. So that all that force of that balanced arrow, like this is how we break. This is that we break through. And so yeah, that was the meditation on the dance floors. It's like I recognized like we needed narcissistic women to lead the feminism movement because gentle codependent women like me wouldn't be able to break through that. You needed someone sharp. You needed something. And right now we're at peak narcissism, and so you need the emboldened empath. You know, you need the empath. You need an empath who's empathetic, because we're not gonna replace the narcissistic system with new narcissism. We're peak narcissism. We can't get any more narcissistic. So the next thing is that emboldened empath. But the emboldened empath had to walk through fire to get sharp enough and balanced enough to get that energy pulled back hard enough to really break through the peak narcissism. So,
Oh, yes.
Amen.
that's our future, baby. Our now.
Exciting times, I have to say.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about the drones?
Oh yeah, I'm all over it. Yeah.
The drones that were
New Jersey,
New
they're
Jersey.
showing up everywhere.
Yes,
I don't know.
Vaguely,
I mean, it could
I
be
heard
a false
vaguely.
flag. Like I'm just observing it. But I know even if this is not the real disclosure now, it's coming. It's this, or it's going to be in a few months, or maybe in a year. But like, we're so close to meeting our neighbors.
They shut down the New York airport. Is that true?
Apparently, yeah. The story, I'll send you guys a link, because Jean-Claude, the Beyond Mystic team, has done a really good job of kind of compiling the big things and then providing some analysis on it. And also this guy Cliff High, who's dude since like 1997. He's a computer guy. I don't know what his algorithm is, but he runs this thing. It runs, basically processes all this data and then uses that data to predict where things are happening. And so in 2009, he predicted the meeting where Trump sat down with Joe Rogan. And this is before anyone knew that Donald Trump was, this must have been, 2009, before anyone thought Donald Trump would run for president. And who knew about Joe Rogan? Like, it was a very small. Anyway, he predicted this thing, and it was sketched out. And then then after 39 days after that would be Melee, or it's called Melee. 39 days to Melee. You know Melee is like this chaos, this confusion. And then basically 39 days after that, the Trump thing. So if that was before the election, Trump wins. Everything's more or less peaceful. I know people were kind of expecting chaos, and it ended up being peaceful. But then on December 3rd is when that healthcare executive got shot in the street. And then a couple days later, we started hearing about the drones. And so anyway, so Cliff High is very much into the woo and he had an experience. I think he's almost died a few times, so he's had some near-death experiences. So he's tapped into this stuff. Plus, he's got this algorithm that's basically very succinctly predicting the future. But yeah, things are the chaos of the systems falling apart, and the people who are currently in charge are losing control, and they start blaming one another, and the narrative's not going to be in control anymore. That narrative that's kind of kept everything in line isn't working anymore. We're losing faith, and more and more people watch CNN or MSNBC or whatever as a joke. Like they get that it's not real anymore. We're starting to see behind the
all mainstream media now are a joke. Like from both sides, people don't trust them anymore.
Yeah. So out of that, there's this melee that's going to happen because it's all falling apart, and the new thing that replaced it isn't there yet. You know, it's this old energy's got to die off. There's still some energy that needs to get died off before the new stuff can come. And this is where the splits and all that stuff's happening. But anyway, I'll send you guys some links. It's super interesting the way they talk about it. And yeah, and they're very cautious. It's like, yes, this could be alien life forms, also, or it could be a false flag. We don't know. Like, we're not gonna. It's just more like observer mode. Like, was this? But I sense if it's this, if it's not this, it's gonna be close. I think, especially as we get closer to the threat of a nuclear war. Like, I really don't feel like.
Yeah, the Middle East now is just crazy.
Yeah,
with,
Syria and all this stuff.
Bashar al-Assad gone, and everything is just chaotic. So
Yeah, so the melee.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm hearing more and more people saying, people who study this, and like yesterday I was listening to a couple of them talk, and one guy was like, I don't even know what to think anymore. And like, that's where I've been for a while. It's just like, I'm not even going to try.
We're just observing.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to any conclusion. We don't have the
I don't need
the
to.
data or anything. You just watch and
Yeah.
see how things are gonna.
So to hear
unfold.
people who
Jeez.
really study this stuff, they're watching the price of silver, they're watching Bitcoin, for him to be like, you know what, I've decided, like, I'm not gonna, I'm in observe mode now, and more people are. Someone else is like, I don't know what to think anymore. It's like, yeah, that's fine, because that's how we get to our own autonomy. That's how we get to, like, I don't know what's true, especially with AI. I don't know what's true. I can't look online and know for something is true. I just had to know in my own heart. I have to know for my own self, like, just coming really back into our own autonomy.
Exactly. Just live your own experience and spread that love that you have in you.
Yeah, to the people.
Yeah,
like,
to the
right
bit
here.
here,
Like, this
yeah.
is,
And receive. Oh, I'm receiving so much love. I'm such. Seriously, I'm gonna be serious for a second, which is out of character. People.
It's so out of character.
Side eye.
A rare moment.
A
of
rare moment of authenticity. No, I'm authentic, but a rare moment of like being just
Sincerity.
just being like, I'm gonna be serious. I'm so overwhelmed with so much love. I'm like, I can't understand it. It's unusual and rare, and I am so blessed. And I hate this word. I've never liked the word blessed in my life.
Fuck blessed.
I swear to God, like people just, oh, blessed. I'm like, ugh. I feel so blessed. This is just weird.
I know. No, keep going. You're doing great. I know that feeling. I know what
It's
you're talking about.
weird to me to talk like this. It's just, I'm so overwhelmed with love. Like people love me now. But like the right way. Like I've had people love me and heard me with their love.
That's
they
not
don't
love.
know how
That's
to
not
love
That's
me.
control.
But now I get the love that I want and that I deserve, and it's so good.
Because it's the love
man.
you're giving. It's the love you're putting out, and so that's what you're gonna get back.
Yeah, and I'm wet all the time. Like it's so crazy. They say menopause make you dry, and I am wet all the time.
Changing your underwear 3 times a day.
I swear I have to change my underwear all the time. That's amazing. This is me being serious. Jeez. I am so
I'm making
grateful.
puddles everywhere I
Yeah.
go.
just block. What? It's raining again. It's sunny.
Get your
and
floors refinished.
I
Boys are
mop.
like, Mom,
I
it's
mop
flooding in the house. You're like, no, don't worry.
It's
I
fine.
got
Don't
it."
worry.
All right.
I think we
I
could
love
end
you.
on
I
the
love you
flooding.
so much.
Flooding in the house.
I
The
love
flooding
your-
in Lamia's pants. The deluge. This is
the
it was first Noah's Ark, and now
Lamia. This is Lamia's
times
art.
biblical prophecy.
I am a believer again.
All right, love you, ladies.
I love you
love
so
you.
much.
I'm
not gonna do it to you.
Oh, you guys only do it to yourself.
To you.
I do it to me a bit.
I do it to my kids. I do it to my loved ones.